Hallelujah. All right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Dr. Bernetta, and this is my very first Wellness Connection Talk. Woo! And I'm so glad to be able to be here and to just share a few things about becoming a healthy or embracing a healthy and well lifestyle. So many of you saw the video that we put out just a few days ago. I'm super excited about that because it was a real impromptu thing. But my best friend, Arlene, my best friend and baby sister, Arlene said, we need to video one of these wellness habits that you have. And so we did that, and it just sparked a lot of interest, a lot of conversation. So tonight, I thought I would jump into something that honestly, me and the Lord have been talking about for a while, and that is making a connection with other people who really want to build health and wellness in their lives. So that's what we're going to do today. If you have joined me from Facebook, then I'm going to encourage you to go to my page and click on the link and come on the Zoom. I'll let you in so we can talk. Otherwise, if you have questions, you can put them there in the chat in Facebook, but I'll get to them later. I want to say thank God for all of my friends that have already joined me here on my Zoom. Everybody here is a wonderful face, and we've all talked about health and wellness for years. So tonight, our topic is really about embracing healthy or building a healthy lifestyle. What are some things that we should be doing to build a healthy lifestyle? So I thought I would start by sharing my story. And so I'm going to share my screen and show you a picture. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a picture. So get ready for this. Let me move some things out of the way here. And so here we go. Hopefully this lets me do it. Give me a second here. All right, can you see that picture? No? All right. I'm going to do a new share. All right, so here we go. Can you see that picture? So this is me. This is the best picture I have of my former self. This was in 1997. It was January 2nd. It's my mom's birthday, 1997. And in this picture, I'm really close to 400 pounds. This is that version of me. And I was very tired. I was in pain that day. I remember standing and to take this picture. This was done at a medical center because I had finally come to the end of my rope in my body. And I said, I've got to do something to change. So let me tell you a little bit about how I got here. I started struggling with my weight when I was 8 years old. There was a very tragic event that took place in my life, and there was really no one for me to talk to about it, no one to discuss it with. And I was honestly in a lot of emotional pain. And growing up, one of the things that I always was free to do was eat. So I remember the day when while I was in that emotional state, I ate something and I felt better. I started to feel better because, when you eat, you feel good. And in that moment, I said to my wonderful government cheese and bologna sandwich, I'm going to make you my friend. And from that moment on, food became my drug of choice. And so when I wasn't feeling well, when memories and things and thoughts would come to my mind, then I would eat. And after several weeks of that, that event took place during the summer, And after several weeks of just eating whatever I wanted to make myself feel good, I gained so much weight that I couldn't even fit into my next semester school clothes. My mother was furious because nothing, you always buy your school clothes ahead of time. And I couldn't fit anything. And poor thing, my mom didn't have money to replace them. So she went to all the mothers in my church and said, I need some clothes for this, hefty child. And I remember how ashamed I was walking to school wearing clothes that, the old people used to wear. That's kind of started on a journey. That was the beginning of a journey of shame and food abuse. That was my thing. And honestly, over the years, I did every diet I could think of. I'm gonna be honest, everything you could think of, I think I tried it. And at one point I lost 90 pounds and then I gained 90 pounds. And then soon afterwards, I just really kind of gave up altogether. Excuse me, I'm clicking on stuff here. Let me push escape. And so fast forward many, many, many years. And I'm that away. There we go. I agreed with myself, I'm going to do something different. So I I moved into a new home, and I asked someone about things I could do. And they said, well, maybe you could just walk. And so I did. I tried to start a walking program. But that very first day in my very new neighborhood, here I was, all these pounds overweight, right? And within about 3 houses, my legs and back began to hurt me so bad, you guys, that I had to sit down on the edge of the curb. My leg kind of said, listen, you can go as far as you want. I'll be here when you get back. And I crumpled down onto the ground, and I literally sat there on the ground for a while because I didn't know anybody. This was back in the 90s, and I didn't carry a cell phone. So there I was out on the street, in pain and in agony. And as I began to wonder, what am I going to do? I sat there on the curb, and honestly, I began to just weep. I just wept. I just sat there and I said, Lord, I just don't understand. I'm doing everything that I know how. And I promised the Lord then, I said, if you would help me, I will make a change in my life. I'll make a change. And after being there for more than an hour, you guys, I sat there because, like I said, I was in a lot of pain. I didn't have a cell phone to call anyone. And I looked down and I was able to crawl in between 2 cars, and I nudged myself up slow between those cars. And that's how I was able to get up. And then I slowly walked back to my house. Right? Not long after that, I was introduced to someone, and that was where my journey began. Now, I ended up in 1997. I had the gastric bypass surgery. Many of you know of that surgery. I had it done by Dr. Proby, who is the developer of that surgery. He did my surgery. And over the next 6 months, I lost 100 pounds. And it really made a difference because now at least my body can move. But I want you to know a couple things. Even then, I wasn't at goal weight. I lost 100 pounds, but of course, I was 200 pounds overweight. And I remember saying, oh, I'm so grateful for Lord. Every night I would pray, just let me wake up skinny. Please, Lord, just let me wake up skinny. But how many of you know that might not have been the best prayer? So the truth is, I had to come to a place, one of the first real steps was I had to come to the place where I owned my part in becoming overweight. I had to say, you know what? Because honestly, I would say, I don't know why I'm fat. I don't even eat that much. I exercise, and I was exercising. But honestly, I needed to look at what I was doing and own my part in my health issue. And once I owned it and I said, okay, Lord, I'm sorry. And immediately as I repented, there were several things that came to mind, like that repentance, that mindset that I owned where I've been. I said, you know what, I'm overweight because I'm not doing everything I know how to do. I'm not eating the right foods. I'm not drinking the right things. No more excuses, Lord, but if you'll help me, I will change. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that have gastric bypass. Maybe by now you've maybe met a lot of them. And if you have, you've met a lot of people who lost a lot of weight and then they gained it right back. Because the surgery, there's no one answer. There's no one answer in terms of a healthy living lifestyle. But there is one agreement you have to make, that you decide what goes in this mouth. I decide. And I decide what happens with this body. So I got to own it. And that was the first step. And so that's what I want you to agree, that maybe there's sickness in your body, there's high blood pressure in your body, there's diabetes in your body, maybe there's pain in your body, maybe there's extra pounds in your body, maybe there's migraines and all sorts of things. But what you do with this body, you get to decide. And today you can decide, you know what, I will do my part. I'll do my part. All right. So that's the first thing, is to agree, I'm going to do my part. No more excuses. And I would bet if you stop and think right now, you could give me a list of more than enough things that you say, you know what, I know I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. I need to be doing the other. Okay, just wave at me if that's you. You know, you can say a few things. I know I know I should be drinking some water. People pass me with their food, and if they know me, they're like, "Look, Dr. Bernetta, I really don't eat like this. You know, I know I'm supposed to have this fried chicken, and I never have 2 pieces of pie. I just only have a 4. You know, so just think of all the stuff that we know that we don't do. Okay, so that's the first thing. I want to encourage you to agree with yourself. Between me and the Lord, I can make a change. I can make a change. A healthy lifestyle is mine to have. Somebody needs to write that down. A healthy body is mine to have. I can have health. I can feel good. I can lose the weight. I can address these issues. A healthy body, a healthy lifestyle is within my reach. I can really feel good. That's right. You might want to just type that in the chat or write it down somewhere. This is yours to have, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours. So now, how do we get started? So I'm going to do my best. Let me see if I can do a little better this time. Hold on. I'm going to try to share my next picture. So I'm going to say a couple things. I'm going to show this picture, say a couple things. My screen is acting up, y'all. That's why. So I have to, you know, all right. So now let me go back. And let me share my screen. Let me see if I can do it. All right, here we go. So can you all see that picture? All right. So this is the before and after picture. This is my favorite dress with all the butterflies on it. And I put it next to this version of my before because there are stages. So the first thing I want to say is, no, I didn't just go to bed one night and wake up skinny. But over time, as I learned more and agreed more and did more of the right things, here's this person at the end, this version of me. And I want you to know that this version of me always existed. It was always in there. I just had to do the things that it took to bring it out. So that well version of you, that healthy version of you, that happy version of you, whatever that is that it may be for you, I want you to know that version exists. And that was a revelation for me as I looked at that after picture, because while I was in that other state, that state of overweight, the state of sick, you guys, I had high blood pressure. I was on medication for that. My knees ached every single day. My back hurt every day. I had a hard time sleeping at night. I had, as you could hear, I had a difficulty in walking. There came a point in my life where I was so large in circumference, I could not buckle my seatbelt in my car. I spent many days feeling ashamed, alone, confused, depressed, and defeated. It wasn't until I owned the role of I will do my part, okay? And part of that was realizing that there's a healthy version of me inside. And that's who I want you to talk to. I want you to start talking to your healthy version, the healthy me. And we have to love the healthy me. I love you right now. I love you where you are, because there's not one thing you're going to do and wake up skinny, or wake up without having to take medicine, or wake up and not have any pain. There's not one thing you're going to do today that's just going to fix that all overnight. But what you can do is agree, I'm going to do the stuff. I'm committed to healthy living. And that healthy version of you got to get it in your mind. Get it in your mind. All right, you got it in your mind. Can you see it? Can you see it? I want you to see it, where you don't have to go back to the doctor for any more. And Mom BJ is laughing because she's at her healthy self. She's gone through this process with me, so she knows. She's seen some things. She knows. And so you can decide today you're going to make a change. And I know, like I said earlier, every one of us could raise our hand. And even now I could raise my hand and say, there's something new, there's something more that I could do. Is there anyone here that can say, I've done one thing, there's one healthy habit that I've already changed this year? Anybody? One healthy habit? Anybody? One healthy habit you know you've changed? Anybody, anybody courageous enough to share? Go ahead, Mom.
I said, stop the fast foods.
Stop the fast foods. How many of you know, oh my God, all that driving through is just not your friend? Oh my goodness. And I promise you, if I was still eating fast food, I would have eaten myself into an early grave, because they just have so much stuff, right? It's just always this stuff. So good job, Mom. Who else? You know, you have mastered a healthy habit. What's one healthy habit you know you've already mastered? Anybody else want to share?
Exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week.
Oh, yes, 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 Miss Jeannie. Amen. That's you and me. I started weight training this year, and I've been doing 3 days a week. And oh my God. And all I can say is, why didn't I do this sooner? Oh my goodness. So yes, 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 yes. And one more, anybody else want to share a healthy habit that you've already started this year that you've embraced? Anybody? Well, I'm going to tell on Pamela. Pam, can I tell on you? Pamela added wonderful omegas and shakes to her lifestyle that will help make sure she's getting some extra nutrition, some high levels of nutrition in her body. And she's on a path to make steps to nourish herself much, much better. So those are all steps. Now that we've talked about that, how many of you can think of one healthy habit that you really, really know you need to start? Anybody have one? Say, here's a healthy habit I need to start. I know I need to do it.
Sit down and eat your banana.
Oh, I think I heard someone. Oh, my bonus mom, Barbara's on. Hi. All right, anybody? So maybe you say, I need to drink more water. Maybe you say, I eat way too many sweets. I just eat too many. Or maybe you were like me, like I was. Me and Lay's potato chips had this love-hate relationship. Oh God, I had to break up with Lay's about 3 good times, but I'm grateful to say I am Lay's potato chip free. I'm potato chip free. It's been a year, 1 year of Lay's potato chips free, and no French fries. No French fries. And if you guys knew me, you knew me and French fries. Oh my God. Yes, yes. So what about that? I want you to think about knowing that you have these, because you're not telling me, that's okay. But knowing that you have a few things that you might need to change, I want you to think about the barriers. What are the barriers? What's kept you from making those adjustments? Anybody brave enough to share? What's kept you from embracing that new habit that you know you need?
When you get frustrated.
Yes, because it's kind of hard if you try to do too many things at one time, right? It's a little rough. And for me, Lay's potato chips was like my reward at the end of the day, and to deny me that felt like punishment. All right, so you get frustrated. Anybody else? What's another reason, a barrier to moving forward with a new healthy habit? Oh, be brave. Come on. Miss Arlene, where are you?
Just used to doing the same thing. You don't want to change. You're used to doing the
It's
same
hard to
thing.
change. Okay, that's a good one. Because sometimes you're telling me I can't have my Lay's, but you're not focusing on what I can have. What do I get to have instead? So that's perfect, perfect, perfect. One more.
I'll say a barrier for me was being able to make it a priority. As a new mom and as a new wife, that was a challenge for me to say, you know what, I matter. And so because I matter, I have to really prioritize my health.
Wow. So making the time that helps you put those things in place. I love it.
Milk,
Anybody else?
meal planning.
Meal prep. Oh my goodness. Because like Arlene said, you have to prioritize that, right? It takes time. So let's talk a little bit about that, just a little bit, and then we'll wrap up for tonight. So every one of us has something that we know we want to work on, because there's nobody here that says, I want to be sick. I want to feel bad in my body. I don't want to get better. All of us want to. But now that you see it's important to own that you have a role, it's important to see that the healthy version of you is very possible and love that version now. But there's a third thing. I'm going to share my screen one more time. There's one more thing I want to encourage you to do. Let me see if I can get it right. Hold on. I'm trying to get it right before I share. Oh, wrong one. Let me close that. Forgive me for my technical challenges. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to share. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, there you go. Can you guys see that picture? All right, so this is the first thing that I want to talk about in terms of that next step. You need to find a buddy. You need someone you can partner with. And this is my beautiful baby sister, Arlene. And we have partnered together. How long has it been, Arlene?
Well, I would say probably, oh my God. So we've known each other about 18 years. So I want to say probably about at least 13, 14 years. We have decided that we were going to go through this journey together. We were going to, like we always say, through thick and thin, literally. We weren't going to let this go. We were going to fight and make sure that we maintained health and wellness.
Yes.
And so, and can I just say something really quick? I think about a time where, and it's funny how it happens, because I remember a time where you had gained some weight and I was still, I'm going to say thin.
Yeah.
And I came to you and I said, girl, maybe it's time we, I brought forth a suggestion. And then more recently, you came to me and said, girl, I think we, and you were thin, you know what I mean? It was like you were thin. And at that point, I was on the thicker side. And so, it's that ability, that communication, that desire to say, look, I trust you with
Right.
this, because sometimes we do, we look at ourselves in the mirror and, I had a baby and I was just like, oh, I could lose this weight very easily. I could, it was just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
And when 3 years went on and you were like, okay, Arlene, and I trusted you. I trusted you, and vice versa. You trusted me to realize, you know what? I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to respond differently. Because sometimes in our minds, we see one thing or we think one thing, but we need that person on the outside to be able to say, to be able to give us honest feedback, and I trust you, and vice versa. So.
Yes.
Through
So
thick and thin, girl, literally.
thick and thin, we are buddies. And that's going to be my encouragement to each one of you, is that by the time we meet, I want you to really seek out a wellness buddy. Now, one of the reasons I started this group is because many of us live with the enemy. Okay, look. We live with the people that's going to buy the Lay's. They're going to bring it in the house. They're going to have the big bag, not the baby ones. They're going to put them on the counter and you got to walk past them every time, you go. So oftentimes, the people in your, the people in your home can really be your biggest challenge. But if you find one buddy, that's all you need, just one. The two of you can help each other out. There's a scripture in the Bible that says two are better than one, because if the one falls, then the other can pick him up. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. We will be meeting on 2nd and 4th Thursdays at 6 o'clock. We're going to try to keep it right to 30 minutes because I know all of us are very, very, very busy. But each week, each time we meet, each meeting, my goal is to share some thoughts, get us to think about some wellness habits, and then give you something to go and do. So in addition to identifying that person in your life, so that's the one thing for sure, you're going to identify that one person in your life that maybe you could partner with. And listen, maybe you were looking around and you say, girl, you don't know who I'm around. You don't know, like I know. I don't have nobody here, then guess what? We can be each other's wellness buddy. Because when we meet again on the 25th, write it down, Thursday the 25th at 6 p.m. When we come back, I'm going to be looking for a report. It's kind of like, a little bit like those other wellness programs where you check in and somebody's watching. So sometimes when you know that we're going to ask you now, who else got your wellness buddy? Then it's an incentive for you to go forward. The second thing I really want you to do is identify that one healthy wellness lifestyle. I thought, there's something you should do. Something came to mind when I said, what's something you need to embrace? Something it's time for you to do now. And that came to your mind. Well, I want you to identify that. And I would love, there's my friend Denise. I would love for you to listen to this idea. There is a science that says when we either want to break a habit or start a habit, what we need is 21 days of consistency. Anybody else heard that? just 21 days. In 3 short weeks, you can either break a habit or make a habit. Now, we're going to be meeting before 21 days is up, but I want you to think of this, first of all, that every month then of the year, you do have the opportunity to pick 21 days and focus on a healthy lifestyle skill, right? Just one. So when we come back next time, I would love for you to have chosen that skill and literally gone to the calendar and picked the 21 days that you're going to put that skill in place. So maybe you haven't started it when we come back. I hope you will. I hope thinking about it and talking about it. One of the things that we don't always give ourselves the benefit of is recognizing the barriers to getting started with a new healthy plan. So I want you to think about those barriers. And I want you to start thinking about some ways that you, not maybe your kids or your spouse or your roommate or your mom, your family, just you. What do you have control over that you can change so that you can implement that habit? All right, you guys ready to go out and do your homework? Do you feel encouraged? Yes. All right, then with that being said, I want to thank every one of you for joining me. This is History in the Making, the first Wellness Connection talk. Did you get something out of this? Was this worth your 30 minutes? Yay, wonderful. I will upload this video to my YouTube channel, Dr. Bernetta, and I'll send you all the link, every one of you. I'll also, would you do me a favor right now and type your email address into the chat for me, because then I'll be able to reach out. And for those of you that are watching on Facebook, if you would go to my website, drbernetta.com, you can send me an email right from the website and let me know that you'd like to be a part of this Wellness Connection. And then I'll make sure you get your own personal invite for our next meeting. We'll meet again on Thursday, the 25th at 6 p.m. I want to thank all of you guys for joining.
Dr. Bernetta,
Yes.
there's one more piece of homework that they have to do. We talked about not giving them too much homework, but here we are giving them homework. The next piece of homework is they have to invite someone to the next meeting on August the 25th.
Oh, good
So
point.
that
Okay,
is
you
their,
can bring your buddy. Bring your
Yeah.
buddy.
bring a buddy
Bring your
or
buddy,
just someone
bring your
else.
buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Great
great.
idea, Arlene. That's why we keep you around, girlfriend.
Thanks.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to put your email in the chat? Oh my goodness, here comes someone new. All right. Well, then with that being said, hey, Miss Dawn, I am going to go in and let me see, I'm going to